Howdy, y'all. My name is Kyle Taylor, co-founder of Endura Bio, where we're helping to protect crops from drought. All too often, it's easy to forget the farmers who grow the food that we eat. But these are the men and women who are the backbone of the $3 trillion global ag economy. And right here in our own backyard, California farmers bring in $35 billion in crop revenues annually. But there's a problem. Drought, fueled by climate change, is causing real economic damage to these farmers. UC Davis did a comprehensive study of the 2014 growing season and found that drought cost California farmers $1.25 billion. There simply wasn't enough water available, and the water that was available was more expensive. All this boils down to an urgent need for crops that maintain yield while using less water. So one solution to this problem is to do traditional breeding, where you take and select the most drought-tolerant plant in your field, cross them, grow them, and repeat that process. But this can take up to 5 or more years. Oops. Another solution is to engineer GMOs or use transgenic technology. However, there's still market acceptance problems. Consumers still don't trust GMOs. And there are higher regulatory burdens, all of which boils down to delays in getting these new varieties to the farmer where they're needed the most. And that's what these solutions miss. Farmers already have crops in the field that they need to mitigate against drought. So for example, farmers in California have a lot of fruit and nut trees. They're already in the ground. They can't go changing those up when a new variety comes in. So we can take insights from what farmers are already doing. Farmers are already managing crops in the field, such as applying fertilizers and pesticides. So what if we could apply something in the same way we do fertilizers and pesticides, but this confers some degree of drought tolerance instead? And that's our first product here at Endura Bio. We're working on ClimateGuard, a proprietary prepackaged mixture of enzymes and natural products from more drought-tolerant plants to confer drought tolerance onto crops already in the field. Farmers can use it just as they would normal fertilizers or pesticides. So how does it work? So we go after some of the key reasons for yield loss due to drought. ClimateGuard has antioxidants to prevent oxidative damage, improves water use efficiency to correct water imbalances caused by drought, and primes the plant's stress response to ensure there's a minimal delay between when drought occurs and when the plant is adapted to that stress. This gives ClimateGuard several key advantages. So it's fast, seeing results within around 2 to 4 weeks. We can customize it to vegetables, fruit, and nut trees that California farmers are already growing in the field today. And finally, we're compatible with the USDA organic label. So now I'd like to share with you a little bit of preliminary results. So we started off doing a pilot tomato study where we paired some tomatoes at the same developmental stage and same size. You can see representative pictures up here. We then treated the one on the right here with ClimateGuard, and the one on the left was a mock untreated control. We then subjected them to water stress, simulating drought. And after 4 weeks, plants treated with ClimateGuard were about 1.5 to 2 times bigger in size than the untreated controls. To further show the efficacy of ClimateGuard, we then wanted to quantify the number of flowers each of these plants had, because you can't have a tomato without having a tomato flower. And our tomatoes treated with ClimateGuard had a 15 to 25% increase in flowers, the bars on the red, in comparison to the untreated controls, the bars in blue on the left. So encouraged by these results, we went out to the Central Valley and started talking to farmers. We talked to around 12 or so farmers and ended up wanting to work with Steve Hash of Steve Hash Farms. He's a 20-plus year veteran growing stone fruit in the Central Valley and a former chairman of the California Fresh Fruit Growers Association. And as a professional plant bio nerd, I can say he has some gorgeous trees. So we worked closely with Steve to come up with a pilot experiment to test ClimateGuard on his plums. And I'm pleased to say that we went down there just last week to start that pilot, and we'll have results of those experiments in the end of August, last week of August, first week of September. So what value do we actually add to farmers? So if we go back to that study that UC Davis did, if you dig into the numbers, farmers are paying, on average, around $200 an acre more for water. If instead they tentatively pay $75 an acre for 2 applications of ClimateGuard, they end up having an increased revenue of $125 an acre. So that tentative $75 an acre breaks down for Endura like this. So 35% is the cost of goods sold. 25% is traditional channel costs. This is important because this is how we're going to get ClimateGuard to farmers directly using the same input channels they use to buy fertilizers and pesticides. Finally, that leaves a 35% gross margin for Endura Bio. As I mentioned before, we'll have the yield results for our tomatoes at the end of August and the yield result for our plum trials at the beginning of September. Over the winter, we'll then be optimizing the frequency of application, the stage at which to apply ClimateGuard, and the method of applying ClimateGuard, all of which is to gear up for field trials next summer, as well as getting organic certification. Finally, we hope to be shipping product the end of the following fall or winter. We have a great team to execute on this. Shashank, my co-founder, is a serial entrepreneur, and I myself am a professional plant bio nerd with 10+ years of experience. But more importantly, we both have a passion for agriculture and the farmers who grow our food. We're looking for any contacts you may have for farmers and growers who need help managing drought, as well as looking to raise $2 million in seed funding to get to the California farmers. We are Endura Bio. We're protecting crops from drought. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to chatting with you after the pitches.